So which way should my solar panels face? Well, it's a fairly simple question that actually kind of has a bit of a complicated answer. So stay tuned as we're going to dive into some of the considerations, the numbers, insights, and all that to make sure we give you the best possible information. But before we get into that, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more expert analysis like this. So, solar panel directions, where do they go? Well, the simple answer here, assuming you live in the northern hemisphere, is the south side of your roof. Plain and simple. South side of the roof is going to be your best spot because when it comes to solar panel production, it's not really about just sunlight in general. It's more about direct sunlight. If you've ever sold solar panels before, you probably have had a customer say, well, why can't we use it on their roof? We get a lot of sunlight over there, and direct sunlight's really the answer. Now, when you put panels on that south side of your roof, it's going to be in the direct sunlight all day, no matter where the sun is. East and west are also viable options because they will also get direct sunlight, but there is a pretty noticeable drop-off. Now, the question also becomes, what's better, east or west? The answer is the difference is pretty much negligible. It really depends more on your specific site and kind of the trees and whatnot that you have. So to prove my point with some numbers to show everybody, I went to the National Renewable Energy Lab's PV Watts calculator. It's a free online calculator anybody can use to get an estimate of your energy production data. What I did was I ran a simulation for a system that's 8 kilowatts in size in the northern United States and faced it at all 4 cardinal directions just to get you an idea. Now, the clear winner in terms of production was, unsurprisingly, the south face, where this 8 kilowatt system was estimated to produce about 10,809 kilowatt hours per year. Now, if we compare that to an east versus west face, the east and west face both produce about 8,900 kilowatt hours. 8924 and 8966 to be specific. So it's a negligible difference between the two. The clear loser was, of course, the north side of your roof, with producing about 6,600 kilowatt hours a year. That's just a measly figure. Now, what that represents is that if you move your panels from the south side to an east or west face, it's going to be about a 20% drop in production. But if you move it to the north face, it's about a 50% drop in the production. Now, of course, like I said, the answer does get a little bit more complicated because going off of just purely production takes a very important value out of all of this, and that's the dollar value savings. Of course, savings is the main motivator behind people getting the solar in the first place, so you want to maximize that. Now, assuming that your utility does full rate 1-for-1 net metering, you can go off of max production. It's fantastic, but there are fewer and fewer utilities who are actually doing that. So if we're in one of these areas that is not doing full 1-for-1, it can be really helpful to match your solar production based on your consumption. So if you use a lot of power in the morning, you may want more panels that are facing towards the east. And subsequently, if you use more power in the afternoon, you may want more panels that are going to face towards the west. A good mixture of this can help you get a pretty healthy solar curve throughout the day. It's always important just to make sure you're getting all of your energy needs as well. You can start playing with that. It's also helpful to note that batteries kind of negate this as well, in that you can charge that energy whenever you have excess available and then use it whenever you want to. But if you're not looking to make the investment into a battery, you can always play with the direction of your panels and load shifting as well. Now, the other important thing that will go into panel direction is your solar installer, and they'll probably choose where your panels are going to go based on the type of product you're looking to buy from them. So an ownership model like financing or cash purchases, they're going to want to get you a better ROI because, of course, it's part of the deal. You want a return on this investment. In those cases, that's where you're probably going to be using those more premium roof planes like the south face and trying to maximize that so your ROI gets better. As you add more panels, the cost continues to increase, so you want the same savings amount to increase along with that. Now, when you're looking at a third-party ownership model like leases or PPAs, companies who are installing those really aren't cared about efficiency or good production. They're just trying to hit certain numbers for you. So in those cases, you're going to find those companies filling every plane of your roof, including that inefficient north side, because it doesn't matter as much on that efficiency end. Whereas with that ownership model, if we were to place panels on that north side, you don't get discounts on those northern panels. So the cost continues to increase at a linear scale, but the savings you get from it decrease the more panels that are over there. So it doesn't make as much sense to do. So in summary, your panel position can actually have a really drastic impact on the production and the savings that are going to come from your system. You need to make sure you look at what you have and what your goals are for this. South is always going to be the best. East and west are pretty much the same. But if you are looking at something like a lease or PPA model, it really doesn't matter where you put those panels. All depends on how you're going to chase this. So make sure to like the video, leave a comment down below. Let us know how you like to set up your system or how your solar system is set up at your house.